So you want to become a photographer. When people tell me that, the first question I ask them is, what do you want to shoot? Do you want to shoot headshots? Do you want to shoot travel photos? Do you want to shoot weddings? Do you want to shoot family gatherings or special events? Your kids' soccer games or sporting events? Landscapes? Do you want to shoot photos, but also video? Whatever it is that you want to shoot, there's a perfect camera for any of those situations. So that's the first step. Figure out the best camera that suits the situations that you want to shoot, and then figure out the budget that you want to spend on that camera. Now, there's so many different types of cameras, and I'm gonna go over the pros and cons of each one, but first, here's a list of most of the kind of cameras that you can pick from. Starting off with your camera phone, a compact camera. I'm not even gonna say a DSLR because if you're gonna go that route, just go mirrorless. And with that being said, a mirrorless camera, an action camera, a 360 cam, a film camera, a point and shoot film camera, and then there's a lot more, but I don't have all of them here with me. But that's kind of the list you can pick from, and there's a lot of different options in each of those categories. Like this point and shoot film camera, you don't have to get the Context T2. This is kind of an expensive camera, but you can get a point and shoot film camera for like 25 bucks and it's gonna work fine. It might break after a couple months, but it's gonna work fine. You can just get another one, it's that cheap. But if you invest in it, it's gonna last you a while. I've had this for a few years. I mean, it came out in I think 1999, so good quality gear is always good to invest in. Now, out of that whole list, there's really 3 cameras that I would recommend. The first being your cell phone, because we live in the year 2025 and there's a good chance that everyone watching this video has a cell phone that has a camera on it already. So if you already have a camera, you don't really have to spend money, and that's a big pro. The budget is $0 and you can learn how to shoot on your phone. Now, most of these phones don't really come with like settings you can manipulate other than like just changing the exposure, but there's a lot of different apps out there that you can download that will give you aperture control, it will give you ISO control, it'll give you shutter speed control, and they're not bad. If you download one of those apps on, say, your iPhone, it gives you an opportunity to learn how to manipulate a camera without having to spend $1,000 on a mirrorless camera or even a compact camera. Even though a compact camera, you could probably get away with like 200 to 500, like that kind of range. But with your cell phone, it's $0. Also, you can fit in your pocket. You already have it in your pocket. So if accessibility and ease of use is a big thing on your checklist, consider your cell phone. However, with the cell phone, the biggest con is typically the resolution is lacking. Don't get me wrong, there are some photographers that get incredible images on iPhone. There's always an Apple iPhone billboard that says shot on iPhone, and they're beautiful images. The capability is there. If you know how to use it, the capability is there, and you can get pretty good images from your iPhone, and it's a great starting point. So I would say the cons really don't outweigh the pros at all. It saves you money. It gives you a place to start to learn, and you don't have to worry about having an extra piece of equipment or something on you other than your cell phone. The second type of camera I'd recommend is a compact camera. I use a compact camera every single day with the work that I do. The difference with the compact camera that I use, it's kind of an expensive compact camera. So I shoot on the Leica Q2 almost every single day, and honestly, I love this camera. There's a lot of things that's lacking with this specific camera, but the best thing about this camera is the glass is incredible. The size for what I need it for suits me. Obviously, I can't put this compact camera in my pocket, but the image quality is as good as any kind of mirrorless camera you can get. But with that being said, I would not recommend this camera to a beginner. First of all, it is incredibly expensive. Second of all, it's kind of limiting with what you can do, even being so expensive. So if you're gonna go the compact route, I would say steer clear of anything Leica. Yeah, I'm showing you 2 Leica examples here, but there are Sony cameras, there's Canon cameras that are in the $200-300 range that can get you everything you want, can get you as good of an image quality as this Deluxe 7 and cost a fifth the price. Another big pro is they're super easy to carry. Like, you can just throw this strap on. It's not heavy at all. You can put a camera strap on it and have it on your hip. It's super lightweight, easy to carry around. Some of these, like this one, I can put in my pocket. Obviously the Q2 I couldn't, but there are compact cams. I mean, even this vlog camera is a compact cam, and you can just throw it in your pocket. Look how small it is. I almost have a full fist around this camera. A lot of these compact cams are this size, and if your budget is your biggest priority and you don't want to just shoot on your cell phone, I would recommend a compact camera. Not necessarily this one, but there's the RX100s, any of the G7X cameras. The cool thing about those two cameras that I just mentioned are that you can also vlog on them. If video is a thing that you want to do as well as take photo, those cameras are perfect cameras for those situations, and they don't cost a lot. I mean, costing a lot is relative, but they're in the $400 or $500 range. The RX100s probably double that, probably closer to the 1,000 range. But if you don't want to invest in glass or lenses with a mirrorless or DSLR, you don't need anything more than a compact camera. If that's as far as you want to go, you can get perfect images on a compact cam that are 20 something megapixels. You can edit the crap out of in Lightroom, and they're just good overall quality. Now, the few cons for compact cameras are typically you're spending less money. You're not going to get all the features in those cameras. They're typically not as good in low light situations, but even with that, shooting technique can always change anything with low light situations. If you learn how to shoot on a tripod, if you learn how to shoot with different shutter speeds and really know how to control your camera, the low light capabilities don't really matter. But with all that being said, the third camera that I would recommend any beginner photographer, this is the route you should go. If like being a real photographer is like your goal, go invest in a mirrorless system. The pros with mirrorless systems are typically they have the newest technology. They have the capability of shooting the highest res photos. They're great in low light situations. At least most of them are. They have interchangeable lenses, and they can pretty much shoot anything depending on the overall specs of the specific mirrorless camera that you get. But now the cons, they're typically more expensive and they're typically more bulky. But outside of that, that's pretty much it. If you have the budget and you don't care about carrying around a camera, which if you're becoming a photographer, you don't care about that. But those are pretty much the only two cons in investing in a mirrorless system. But when it comes to investing in a mirrorless system, the thing that you actually want to invest in is the glass. I'd always spend more money on the glass than the actual body that you're getting. And that's because these camera companies, they're always dropping literally every single year, new bodies, new systems with the newest tech, the greatest, best camera ever invented every single year. But with the lenses, that's a different story. So I use Sony mirrorless systems. I recently upgraded my 24-70 G Master Mark 1 to a 24-70 G Master Mark 2, but I had that lens for 8 years before I had to upgrade it, and I didn't even have to upgrade it. I just got it because it was lighter, it could fit better on a gimbal. But that 24-70 is still one of my favorite lenses today, and still works perfectly on the new systems. Like, there's no hiccup, there's no delay. The autofocus is great on it. It's super sharp. I'll probably be able to use that lens in another 5, 6, 7 years. That lens itself is going to last me 15 years, whereas I've had plenty of camera bodies. I have the A7S II, I have the A7 III, I have the A1, the A7S III. They're always upgrading. I will say the A7S III, they haven't really upgraded anything past that for video wise, but for photo wise, they're coming out with new things every single year. Like, I think there's like the A1 Mark II, the A9, R5. There's so many different mirrorless camera bodies at the highest level, even at the lowest level. Don't worry about the specific body that you get first. If anything, worry about the lens. You want to shoot nice portraits, get that Zeiss 35 1.4 or a lens that might be a little bit cheaper. There's typically the nifty 50s, the f2.8s, things that you can learn on and you don't have to break the bank. But if you're going to invest in something, invest in glass. You'll be able to resell it. Definitely invest in an overall mirrorless system. At the end of the day, you have options. Figure out what you want to shoot, then figure out what your budget is, and then pick. And I would honestly pick one of the three that I just went over. Those are your three best options. Unless obviously you're going to go do some sports stuff and action stuff that you need an action cam. But if you want like legitimate photos, invest in a good camera or start learning on your cell phone. This is all you need. Buy an app, probably get one for 99 cents that you can manipulate the settings, learn the settings. And once you think you have those dialed, I'm going to be releasing more videos in the future about camera settings and everything. So if you're watching this after it came out, go look for one of my videos. I'm going to explain shutter speed, aperture, and ISO to the easiest, most common sense way. Once you think you have it dialed, then invest in a camera. You don't have to spend a lot of money to learn how to become a photographer. Now, with all that being said, I am going to be releasing episodes kind of like a course on my YouTube channel with just every single question that I've been asked or that I asked when I became a photographer. If you have any specific questions to ask me, comment them because I definitely read and answer all my comments. If it's a good question and it needs a bit more of an in-depth answer, maybe I'll just make a video about it. but I'll definitely get back to you no matter what. I hope you found this video useful in some capacity and you want to continue to learn with me, because at the end of the day, that's what we all are doing. We're just learning how to become a better photographer. I still am learning every single day. And honestly, I really want to bring on some of my photographer friends that I've learned a lot from. Mainly my friend Michael. I learned a lot from him while I was working with him at Young and Reckless. There's not many photographers that can do what he does, at least in the sense of at the capacity, scale, and quickness. So yeah, I just want to get as much information on this channel as possible so you guys can come here and just learn. And it's kind of a one-stop shop. You don't have to pay for a course or anything. You just get all your answers here and then you become a better photographer. So let's go. I'll see you guys in the next video. And yeah, I'm out. Have a good day.